Peroni. This time he does get his KTM stopped into the final corner, so he was back down to 6th. He's now back up to 4. It's Carpe now the next rider behind Pratama, but the pace picking up at the front. 41.2 for Almanza versus 41.3 for Keyless, his best lap of the Grand Prix so far, and Pratama's group are now 2 seconds off the lead.
There's a big screen opposite the main grandstand here, about halfway down the main straight. You saw there Peroni have a good long look at it, probably trying to work out how many riders he's facing in this particular battle for third place as it stands. Keyless has just set his fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 141.328, which is still a little bit slower than Almanza. Almanza's led the entirety of this Grand Prix so far. There's been a lot of pressure coming from Keyless, but he has not shown any sign of cracking. Pratama looking so comfortable, isn't he, there in second place. Further down the order, we've got Brian Ariati in 7th, Joel Esteban 8th, the top 10 rounding out at the moment by Ogden and Morelli. Points as it stands right now for O'Gorman, Munoz, Cruces, O'Shea and Kelso, although Adrian Cruces is our first rider of the campaign to get a track limp this morning.
In the Pratama group are now 2.2 off the lead, so I think unless the top 2 start to really engage, as Fernandez now ducks underneath Peroni to take 5th place, unless something kicks off up ahead, it looks like this 4-rider train are battling for the final spot on the podium.
Yeah, take 1 from 2 for the win, it looks like, and then I guess 1 from 4 for the final place on the podium. This is a massive break, isn't it, that both Almanza and Keyless have made. Been a really impressive switch over, hasn't it, from Honda Machining to KTM as far as 22 Almanza is concerned. Once again, just letting him know he's right there was Keyless, and does look strong on the brakes going into that turn 12, just sizing up Almanza's strengths and weaknesses here. Almanza though is going to lead over the line. Lap 10 of 19 underway, the gap down to just under 1.5 tenths.
Yeah, is Keyless sitting there by choice, or is he just unable at the moment to find a way through? We'll get our answer over the next 8 or 9 laps. This is the Peroni going through on Fernandez into the final corner. It's the battle for 3rd, but that was 5th and 6th that were ultimately changing hands.
There is Pratama then, heavy on the brakes, a little bit out of shape on the brakes into turn 3. Just a slightly wider line on the Honda compared to the KTM of Carpe directly behind him. So I'm just checking the gap between Keyless and Almanza. Keyless rocket ship down that back straight, the 1,000 metre back straight, because he's closed right up, hasn't he, on Almanza. Is Keyless sensing that it's going to be the time in the lead to strike, maybe try and break up Almanza's rhythm, see what Almanza's got left in the pocket, because Keyless is starting to look pretty menacing at the moment.
Almanza can answer a lot of questions here, because as you mentioned before the start, he's led a lot of Moto3 Grand Prix, but hasn't won any of them on his intact GP debut course, and he switched across from Leopard. What a message Almanza would send if he can hold off the runaway title favourite for the season began, Keyless.
This is a look back at Fernandez. On Peroni going through turn 5, all nicely done. Peroni trying to strike straight back. Peroni's got himself up now into 7th place. 97 starting to carve his way through in that 3rd group, just at the top of your picture.
Now we've seen Fernandez and Peroni backing each other. They need to be a little bit careful, because there's a little bit of ground on this lap. To Fernandez, to Pratama and Carpe immediately up ahead. It's around about half second now between 3rd, 4th and 5th and 6th for the picture, and it's now Morelli leading that battle behind between the top 2 from last year's Junior World Championship.
That might be as good as it gets for Morelli. Having got to that big battle for 7th, he's pretty much the thick end of 3 seconds back on Peroni. He's got his work out as well to hang on to that 7th. Ariati, O'Gorman, Munoz, Esteban, Ogden and Cruces, the 2 CIP Green Power teammates in that big group. Something just to occupy the mind of the rookie Veda Pratama. He has just got a track to this morning, as you can see there on screens.
The big warning for him now is the 83 of Carpe behind. I guess Carpe a little bit frustrated at the moment, because he's seen the victory battle disappear away from him up the road. The victory battle is right here on screen. It's the 22 of Almanza versus the 28 of Keyless.
Bragging rights at MLab Racing at the moment, going the way of Eddie O'Shea, the Brits. 14th place, that's about 3/4 of a second clear of his teammate Joel Kelso. A bit of a Commonwealth battle going on further down the back end of the points scoring places. Pratama, this is a test of his mettle right now, isn't it? Carpe, proven
podium talent in the Moto 3 World Championship. He said on the grid he was expecting a crazy race. Probably a little bit crazy than what he's having right now. He's certainly been hoping to have been a little bit further up the road. Mansa and Keyless have completely cleared up, haven't they? Pratama's still doing a phenomenal job of hanging on to that final place on the podium. Yeah, Keyless, he has been shaping this move up now for a good 3 or 4 laps. He's got great runs through that turn 10-11 section. He's just a shadow. He's shown our Mansa his front wheel on a few occasions going into that turn 12. So he finally has decided it's time to pounce, time to strike. David Mansa, what have you got?
Yeah, I've sat behind you for long enough now. Time to make my move. Does Mansa have a counter-attack up his sleeve? He might have to act pretty quickly. This is looking now. All the 28 and the 22 of Mansa quite straight back. He's having a look at the inside, but we know how good on the brakes Keyless is. Sideways into 3, and Keyless now with an opportunity to get his head down and try and stretch clear of the intact Greget.
Max Keyless finished third in the World Championship last year, despite the fact that he missed 4 rounds, a combination of being under the age limit and injuring very early on into the campaign. Let's not forget, this guy announced himself on the world stage in terrific fashion, Austin. Leading your first lap of your Grand Prix career was some statement, wasn't it, from Keyless? What can he do then to try and maybe break away from Mansa? Pratama's gone wide off camera going into turn 5. There's been incessant pressure running behind him from Carpe, Fernandez and Perone. Looks like he might just have done
it. Top of the picture, so Carpe is now into third place from Fernandez, Pratama fifth, Perone sixth. Even if it's top 6 on debut for Pratama, that would be an extraordinary result, even if the dream podium I'm sure all of Indonesians was hoping for has now slightly slipped out of his grasp.
This is a very familiar scenario as far as Keyless is concerned. He's going a little bit defensive because Mansa trying to retaliate on the same corner where he just lost the lead. He's out of shape there. That's how hard Mansa having a push on that KTM. 18 Grand Prix last year, Keyless took part and he led 2/3 of himself on the front. So this is very, very familiar operating ground as far as Keyless is concerned. This battle raging for third, well that's going to go like the checker. Carpe, Pratama, Perone and Fernandez split by less than a second.
This is the moment we saw our window, watching the battle for the lead up front. Pratama going wide there into turn 6 and immediately taking one of those places back. He's not giving up here, is he, Pratama? It looks like it's starting to run away from him, straight back through on Fernandez. Pratama now runs forward.
Say fair play to David Munoz. He's got his head down, maybe just early on, I know what might have unsettled his early limit, but he's just clawed his way back up into 8th place. He's right in the thick of that big group fighting for 7th.
Taking the lead again out of picture, watching the battle for 4th. You can follow them from the helicopter shot. Top left of your screen. David Mansa in first sector, so Julie on the way down to turn 1. Down to 3. Mansa has regained the lead. Keyless, so he did have a counter-attack up his sleeve.
Looks like Keyless might have made a mistake because he led Mansa and then he was 3.5 tenths almost down. Going into the second split was a bit of a mistake from Keyless. What happened? We saw him lose the lead. Yeah, he's in hot, he's going into turn 1. So having done all the hard work to find himself at the front, he's now back in the hands of David Mansa.
Going as well. Pratama's lost 2 places in the third sector. He's back down to 6th. So it's all to and froing in that second group. It's now Carpe up ahead. So Mansa back in the lead by a third of a second. Back to the championship group. It's now Carpe, Perone, Fernandez and Pratama. And don't like the Moretti group, who's of course leading Munoz, Disiarin and Gorman. If he continues to chop and change the group, they might just get there on the final.
We're on lap 14 then of 19.
The majority of the laps so far have been headed by Mansa. Once again, he's out of shape. He's got a lot of confidence, he's got a lot of trust, hasn't he, in the front end of that KTM? Because we've seen it pretty squirrely on the brakes in a couple of hard lanes, and turn 3 and turn 12 in particular. And that was just Keyless. And a bit of incentive behind him, pick up the throttle on the exit 3, closing down through the high-speed left-hander of 4. Yeah, Keyless just picked himself up there. He was thought about battling a little bit wide.
laps of this to go.
Battle of
Jump
Six.
back again into this
Veda paling belakang.
place. In front of it is Carpe, followed by Peroni, followed by Fernandez, followed by
Ayo Veda.
He's the sole two Hondas, two KTMs in this group. Lovely move back from Fernandez on the inside of 7 to take Peroni. Big look by Alvaro Carpe. He's surely well away now. What's right behind him?
Battle of Five. Nomor 5 Veda.
Peroni on the 73, right? Peroni dishes out some instant payback now as they head towards the far sector. Regardless of whatever happens here this afternoon from Veda Pratama, I think he has already announced himself on the world stage. He has already shown himself that in Indonesia it looks like finally you do have a serious Grand Prix rider to cheer on week in, week out. He's going to be learning so much here as Fernandez dive bombs Carpe on the brakes of the final corner. Fernandez is now back with a P3.
That's what he's up against here. Adrian Fernandez, winner of the last Grand Prix of 2025 in Valencia. Alvaro Carpe, a junior world champion and rebel rookie champion. Martin Peroni, one of the standout rookies of 2025. So this is a seriously elevated company that Pratama is holding up against.
Morelli is still holding stage at the front of that big second group in 7th place. Of course, Keeler's his teammate, they fan out almost 3 abreast. Coming from a long way back, there goes Pratama. Picked up some great slipstream now on the Honda, didn't he? On that charge down 2-3. Gets back to Peroni.
Difficult to call, isn't it?
Dari nomor 6 ke nomor 5 ini membalap lagi nih Veda. Jangan katakan lagi ya, top gasnya di Moto. Oh, balik lagi. Nomor 4. Gila, 4 besar nih Veda nih. Jangan kasih kendor habis. Habis balap di KTM nih. Giliran temannya Greget ya.
Just pushing with the game, doesn't it? You can still see our top 2 in the top of the quality screens. It is still Almanza that leads Keyless. They're back to the 3rd sector, just a smidgen over 2 tenths.
Yeah, that leading group, or the chasing group led by Morelli, they did take around about 3 tenths out of this quartet. Last time they can see them now, passing to the bottom of the picture. They're probably just going to run out of time to catch them, unless it all kicks off in this group. But at the moment, Morelli's group are closing.
4 abreast they are now, fanning out on the brakes into this turn 12. Peroni's got the inside line on Pratama. Look at Pratama can do about that in terms of a defensive move. So Peroni, who gave himself a lot of work to do, didn't he? Qualifying down the 5th row, 14th place. Only Fernandez ahead of him now in this battle for the final place on the podium.
Great late race pace is gara2. Just at a 42.0 in that group, just at the back of the picture. He's as fast as the leaders, as now Keyless looks like he's once again having a bit of a dress rehearsal to make a move on Almanza. This is where the nerves will really start to kick in for Almanza as he starts to realise what he's on the verge of achieving for the first time.
Yeah, Keyless, Mugello, Balaton Park, Portimao last year was where he claimed 3 victories. He's been there, got the T-shirt and the silverware, so he knows what it takes to get the job done. I have to say of the 2, it looks like Almanza slightly had to work a little bit harder for the lap time than what Keyless is. It's just all about now Keyless' tactics, where he will feel is the optimal moment to make the move. As once again, Peroni's loved that little attack on the inside, hasn't he? At turn 5. I think everyone in this battle, Fernandez, Carpe and Pratama, they've all been picked off by Peroni at some point in turn 5 in this Grand Prix.
Peroni's so good on the brakes and has perhaps a little bit of a top end advantage here. Like as a feather, as Carpe now introduces Veda Pratama to the cutthroat podium battles of Moto. Veda Pratama now leads in 6th.
Here are some Morelli, Garate, Munoz, O'Gorman, Esteban, Aldrin, Crusoe will take 7th place. Nothing between that's a big pack. Now here comes Carpe. And he gets through on the brakes on the inside. Fernandez goes on the right a little bit too strong. They stay as you were then on the exit of 12. The gap between Almanza and Keyless, 3 laps to go, is just under 2/10 of a second. Massive gap then now back to Fernandez on the 31 bike of over 7 seconds. Fernandez, Carpe, Peroni, Pratama, as Munoz goes to the car park on the exit of turn 1. I think O'Gorman followed him as well.
Two corners for Pratama, potentially 3 of them. He just took Peroni to turn 1. He's now trying to get through Carpe, but he got boxed in there. Peroni back through, so Pratama turning attacking ultimate into defence instead of gaining a place. He goes back to where he was to
dancing again.
Two on Hondas, two on KTMs here, and the two Hondas go side by side, jostling for track position. It's advantage for Pratama, who got the top beautifully on the exit of turn 3.
This group of cats, look at them. They're now by Moretti's down to 1.4 seconds. 42.2 from Moretti in the front of that group in the background. We're doing 42.8 in this podium battle. They might get caught in the final lap.
Shatter the vibration on the front end of Pratama's Honda there as he grabbed a handful of brake going through 5. He saw Fernandez and Perone strike back through. I mean, he could get swallowed up here. We're talking about Pratama finishing potentially on the podium. He might get even alive here, finish outside the top 10. He's got to be careful. We've got 2.5 laps remaining. Morelli's trying to drag the Arteco with him. I think that's right. A little bit wide when he goes through eight.
Similar pace to the leaders. This quartet, busy watching each other, are doing high fortunes. They're a second lap on the leading pace, and it might well cost them if they're not careful. Perone's got no thoughts of that, as he's now back to Fernandez, up into 4th.
Killer's got to start getting on with it. He's a quarter of a second behind David Almanza with 2 laps to go. Almanza, fair play. He has just found a 141.9 on lap 17. The only rider in the 141s. Is that one of the key moments of this Grand Prix as Morelli piles out wide on the 97 bike. Almanza then, although Keylers has found a 10th exactly back on the sweep down to turn 3. Almanza is never ever in his life going to get a better chance of his first Grand Prix than this.
Pratama back through then on Fernandez. Yellow flags have come out in the first sector, so we'll be shooting something behind this battle that we're watching here on screen. Now pick up the leaders once again. It's Matteo Bertelli who's scratched out of 20th place.
This time last year, Bertelli was celebrating his career first pole position. Unfortunately, went horribly wrong, didn't miss 13 Grand Prix last year. Suffered horrific leg injuries after Kota. Take your pick from this quartet, maybe more, of who's going to be on the podium here. It's back in the hands now of Carpe. Perone there. Oh, that's a lunge. Pause aggression. Welcome to Moto 3, David Pratama, says Andrew Fernandez. That was a hard move from the Spaniard, going through 7.
Another look from Carpe, this time to his right, and what he saw immediately was Perone powering past him, back into 3rd place. So 73 now leads 83, leads 31, leads 9. Top left of your screen, the leading pair still nailed together. One more lap for Keylers, who's gone wide now into 12.
Keylers there was desperate just to try and be as close to the rear time of Mansi was, just picking up a bit of slipstream going on to the start-finish rate. The gap there now, David Almanza, well, it's in his hands. Is this his race to lose now? As they start the final lap, the gap almost half a second between Almanza and Keylers. Keylers needs a belting final lap here in Buriram.
Yeah, that's where it all went wrong. We saw it top left of the screen going wide into the final corner. He's now going to struggle to catch him up again. He's got one more lap to do. He's halved the gap back down to a quarter of a second through the first sector. Can Almanza hang on?
This would be a late money in the extra if Almanza was to lose this. He has done one leg for probably all but 2 or 3 laps of this Thai Grand Prix. Are we witnessing a dream KTM debut for the Dynamo Intact rider? Through turn 4 he goes. Looking at that commentary box window through 5, a couple of white legs now. Keylers starting to build some speed.
He's doing the whole Grand Prix. Back through into 3rd place. Fernandez on Pratama. Their battle for 5th continues.
Almanza there now is under monumental pressure here from Keylers. This is all going to be down. The first Grand Prix is going to be decided at the last corner here in Thailand. Keylers said he was building now. But they go through turn 10. Just 2 corners remaining. The high-speed line. Keylers has got brilliant speed, brilliant momentum. How defensive does Almanza go? Keylers almost on the grass. It's going to be a late lunge from Matt Keylers. He picks the pocket of David Almanza from pole position. Side by side. Almanza got it. Almanza got it over the line. A photo finish for David Almanza is our first winner in Moto 3 in 2026. He takes the checkered flag by the rhythm of time, maybe less.
3 thousandths of a second. Quiles went all in, he rolled the dice just as he knew he would do, just as he knew he had to. He briefly going into the final corner, compromises exit speed. Almanza on the cutback, wins his first Grand Prix. Fairy tale KTM debut for the Spaniards, the Grand Prix winner at the age of 19. What a weekend, pole position to the victory. Quiles a gallant second. Perrone comes out in the battle of the third place.
Still got a video finish in progress to decide who's won this Grand Prix. I have to say, this defence is on the limit from Almanza. Left him the width of a KTM, and Max Quiles took it on the inside into the final corner. The finish line is so close to the final corner, but it wasn't close enough for Max Quiles, the 22, getting the drive out of the corner, and that is the difference between first and second. It does look, by the width of the front tyres that I mentioned, that Almanza has got it.
And if it is the 7th closest finish in a lightweight world championship race. Unbelievable.
Video finish has confirmed that David Almanza is your winner of the Thai Grand Prix. He had to work hard for it. Greget Quiles for still launching a last lap attack, having lost half a second at the start of the final lap, but he left his charge just that little bit too late.
Leopard Honda's loss is very much Dynamo Intact game, isn't it? David Almanza was so often Durham delivers, show-stopping season openers. That's another one. That's brilliant. David Almanza becomes the 58th different rider to win in the Moto3 World Championship. What a way to do it. What a way to do it. Classic. Classic. This is the 78th year of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. That is the 7th closest finish in a lightweight world championship battle. Quiles, unfortunately, on the wrong end of that super tight finish, 3 thousandths of a second. Almanza with the Quiles second. Perrone third did get the better of that intense battle between the 4 riders for the final place podium.